This is Manindrago from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatupula. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pro Resort and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic hit music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. This is FBC News. Tonight, severe penalties for corrupt practices in the Help for Homes Initiative program, says the Prime Minister. Police investigate FMPF assistance fraud. And Suva murder accused of fronts court. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has strongly stated that severe penalties will be given to those who are thinking of corruption dealings in the Help for Homes Initiative program. Bainimarama made this statement while speaking to villagers of Naingani Mbatiki in the Lomai VT group. Our reporter Ali Kimbia, who was also on the tour, has the details.
Visiting one of the villages that was severely affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama told villagers that government will come down hard on people who are hindrance to the Help for Homes initiative.
When the Help for Homes initiative started, I know that there are some people who are already thinking ahead to come up with such corruption initiative. Please let us keep the trust given to us by overseas countries who has helped us with this initiative.
With over $70 million allocated for this initiative, Bainimarama says the amount is not enough, but government will do whatever it takes to assist those that really needs to rebuild.
We are working out the money that we have and the needs of rehabilitation coming from all those that were affected. We know the money is not enough, but we do understand that, and there are other plans in place.
Villager Eminoni Bunindoi says the assistance provided by government to build their homes is something that they will never forget.
I
want to thank government for building our house. The cyclone has gone and has destroyed all we have. But for the government to provide food and shelter to us, we just want to say thank you.
All of the houses in this village was completely destroyed by Tropical Cyclone Winston, except for the church. But with the assistance of government, villagers are seeking for government's help for them to relocate to higher ground. Here at Naingani village in Batiki Island, Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
10 hardware outlets have now been given the green light to supply essential hardware material to affected Fijians under the Help for Homes initiative. Once applications are approved, those who have been affected will be given electronic cards to use at these hardware outlets. Minister for Women and Social Welfare Rosie Akbar has confirmed that not all hardware materials are covered under this program.
Hardware materials can be purchased under these initiatives. Recipients cannot purchase any white or electrical goods. Recipients will only be able to use the cards to buy the building materials needed for rebuilding their homes.
Police are investigating the alleged theft of $20,000 from members of the Fiji National Provident Fund under the Tropical Cyclone Winston Assistance Initiative. Police have confirmed that investigations are expected to be completed over the next 48 hours before charges can be laid. Maggie Boyle reports.
Last month, the Fiji National Provident Fund paid out over $250 million, having processed 173,836 applications under its TC Winston assistance package. Not all of that money, it seems, went to the right people.
Two separate reports. One was lodged on the 27th of April and the second was lodged on the 29th of April at the Totongo police station. The first report has claimed that one of the employees has cashed a check of $15,000 with a second of the amount of $5,000. So investigations are underway.
Police spokesperson Anna Naisoro says the investigations were initiated after the FNPF reported the matter last month.
Because now we'll try and get the details of the check. That's why we're awaiting further documentation from FNPF before our team can actually bring the two in for questioning. At this stage, ACP Lukenavela has directed the crime officer to speed up the case, and then they'll be working closely too with the CID headquarters.
Repeated attempts to get a comment from FNPF's Chief Operating Officer Chayochi Koroi were unsuccessful. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
In a press statement late this afternoon, FNPF revealed that they have terminated one staff member for cashing members' checks. In addition, they confirmed two other incidents which involved members of the public who impersonated other fund members for the check collection. A 50-year-old diver has been remanded in custody for allegedly killing his de facto partner in Suva last night. Bernard Hicks, who is charged with one count of murder, appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court today. It is alleged that Hicks stabbed 36-year-old Lavinia Randini Taver 8 times with a knife. After an argument, the victim was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. Police prosecutor Cho Suo Shaw objected to bail, saying the offence is serious and the case is of public interest. Shaw also says the offence is indictable, and prior to the incident, the accused and the relatives of the victim were not on good terms. The bail hearing will be held tomorrow. Staying in court, a 20-year-old farmer of Vatukarasa in Nandronga, who is charged in relation to a disturbing Facebook post of a 2-year-old child, has been further remanded. Marika Rangongo is charged with one count of indecently insulting and annoying any person. His case will be called before Chief Magistrate Usai Ratavili tomorrow for bail hearing. Most coastal villages that were hit by Tropical Cyclone Winston were initially approached by government to extend their respective village boundaries on higher grounds in 2012. Permanent Secretary for Itauke Affairs, Naipote Katoni Tambua, says many had refused. Savaira Tambua has more.
Having felt the brunt of DC Winston, many have now realized the urgency for the safety of their children and grandchildren. PSC Itauke Affairs Katoni Tambua says the ministry, along with other government departments, conducted surveys in a total of 63 affected areas.
Out of the 48 villages that were proposed, 63 surveys were conducted. The additional was due to the request from the village elders when they think that they too should be relocated for higher grounds. 36 of those villages have now agreed to move to the new site or to be relocated, while 27 we are waiting for the consent from the respective landowners.
The ministry is adamant that the villagers must consider their safety as a top priority when making decisions on future village sites.
They should be start moving to these new boundaries, provided it's being cleared and other amenities like water or roads had been done by the respective agencies.
From those that are considering relocation, they should write to the Itauke Affairs Ministry to register their interest for relocation. The ministry, along with other respective departments, will undertake necessary assessment only when the landowners have presented their consent to government through Provincial Council Office or the Itauke Affairs Ministry. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, police officers gear up for Sudan mission. And Miss World Fiji contestants count down to crowning night. Stay with us.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM Rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music.
Welcome back. back. This is FBC News. A contingent of 10 police officers will be leaving the country on Saturday for a year of tour of duty under the United Nations mission in South Sudan. And the contingent for the first time will have a high number of women and will be led by Assistant Commissioner of Police Unaisi Vuniwanga. Ritika Pratap reports.
5 out of the 10 officers are women, and the contingent will be led by ACP Unaisi Vuniwanga, who will be serving on a second overseas mission.
For the first time I will be taking a contingent that has more women numbers compared to the last time the contingent that I took we were less in numbers. Women, of course, we have more issues when it comes to family, and especially managing family across the ocean would be a very, very big challenge.
This will be the first overseas mission for all these officers. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sithivening Giliho reminded all officers that the eyes of not only Fiji but the world will be on them.
You are diplomats to a certain extent. What you do as an individual has a reflection throughout the world. The report goes to you, the United Nations, where all countries have representation. And if you think that you do something there, it won't be known to the world. No, that report goes through many tables in the United Nations and it spreads. And we get a better reputation.
The group presented its Itatau to the Commissioner and senior officers this morning. There are 16 police officers serving in 3 missions, namely the Regional Assistance Mission to Solomon Islands or Ramsey, United Nations Mission in Darfur, and UN MISS. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Japan is providing a funding of $5.8 million for restoration and rehabilitation works, a second round of assistance in response to Tropical Cyclone Winston. The project, titled the Economic and Social Development Program, was formalized today by Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama and Japan Ambassador Takuji Hanatani. This grant will allow the government to identify items that are critical to restoration and rehabilitation needs, such as machinery, construction materials, or consumables essentials for restoring normalcy into the lives of affected Fijians. Antibiotic medicine, which is widely used by people when they fall ill, is now becoming less effective. Health Ministry Permanent Secretary Dr. Meduisela Tuivakau made these comments today in a bid to create awareness amongst Fijians who are users of the medication. Kelly Vadala has the details.
Antimicrobial resistance occurs when microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites change in ways they react to medications used to cure the infections.
Antimicrobial resistance means that we are now having bacteria that are becoming resistant to modern medicines. And it is caused by several factors. I'm sure people out there are aware of antibiotics.
Antimicrobial resistance is a serious growing problem that is happening around the world and has the potential to affect anyone.
We've got a few in the previous years, especially in our hospitals, but at present we are able to have treatments for those at the moment. We are a bit cautious because we may have other organisms coming into our system.
The Ministry of Health launched the Antimicrobial Resistance Operation Plan workshop at Tanor Plaza in Suva today, along with its health officials to discuss ways of combating the issue. In 2014, the World Health Organization declared AMR as a global health threat that requires urgent collaborative action. Alarming rates of resistance to hospital and communities-acquired infections that have been reported globally, with some of the highest rates reported in the Pacific region. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Organizers of the Miss World Fiji pageant are ready to get the show rolling on Saturday night. 10 beautiful women are vying for the title, with only one to be chosen as the new Miss World Fiji 2016.
Sticking to the trend of introducing something new and fresh to the local scene, Miss World Fiji director Andy Blake says it's going to be a grand spectacle.
Now, I know that everyone in Fiji is so used to seeing the crowning of the contestants on stage, where all the finalists are on stage. This year we've decided to add a twist to the pageant. It hasn't been done in Fiji before, so we're going to be doing something completely new and completely out of the norm for pageantry.
A new category has been added to the pageant's awards lineup. Contestants are now being judged on their talents.
Last year, Brittany Hazelman did a fire dance at the talent segment. The year before last, Charlene Tafunai sang at the talent. and the year before that with Kieran Epsilon in Bali in 2013 she danced as well. Fiji has not really cut through the talent finals, so we're crossing our fingers that this is the year for it.
Adding to the A-list of guests on the night, Miss Pacific Islands 2015 Abigail Havora from PNG is in the country, especially for the pageant.
With us, we represent the region, whereas with Miss World, they take the region to the world. So being here, I expect to see, expect to take away how Fiji presents itself, so that they not only represent Fiji, but how they represent our region at the world. So I'm really looking forward to what these girls have to offer, because I know that there has to be something amazing about you to be here at this platform contesting for this title. So
The event starts at 6 p.m. at the Grand Pacific Hotel, and tickets can be purchased from FBC. Those of you who have never visited the only multimedia broadcasting company in Fiji will have a great opportunity this Saturday. The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation is having its 2016 Open Day, where listeners and FBC TV viewers will not only be able to meet their favorite personalities, but will also get a chance to enjoy themselves. FBC Events Officer Gabriel Ringamoto says this is an opportunity not to be missed.
There'll be live demonstrations from the National Fire Authority. With a lot of house fires that we've been having, they'll be demonstrating basic fire safety rules and procedures. The first aid, with the basic first aid training. Free face painting for the kids, as usual. Bouncy castles free, so just bring your whole family and get to enjoy the open day.
The FBC Open Day will be held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on that note, sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the very latest.
Anyway, good evening. Coming up in sports after the break. Naita Siri out to stamp its mark in the Skipper Cup. And Fiji under 23 go down 2-0 in its third match on tour. This and more coming up.
Although we will take you on a TV in a market in Tawa. Although Talitanga na Warong na Bula FM and Nambandu and a set.
Bula Viti, Nada Palacio Materia, one may Nana Bula Tabiuni, Ausatuga Nandi, and the Talita na Warong and a Bula FM.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
Back from injury, Vodafone Fiji Sevens forward Viliame Mata will be fighting for a place in the 12-member squads for the Paris and London Sevens. While he returns well rested, he knows making the final cut won't be an easy feat. Vasnil Prasad has more.
Fiji Sevens forward player William Yamata is up for a real challenge in order to make a cut into the 12-member squad. Chasa Veremalua, Pio Tuai. Mata will surely need to be on his peak to be selected in the final team.
A lot of talent, as you can see, and we just want to fight for our spot in knowing that Rio is coming up. So there will be overseas players coming, but I'm just eager to do my best so that I can make it the 12-member squad.
Back from the injury he sustained 2 months ago, Mata is hopeful of showcasing a powerful performance in Paris and London Sevens.
First of all, I just want to thank the Lord for his protection and guidance, allowing me another chance to make it to the 12-member squad for the Paris and London tour. Right now I'm very psyched up just to go on and play for Fiji.
His performance in the Fiji Sevens side during the European leg will surely give him a slight idea on his inclusion in the team to Rio Olympics. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Naita Siri rugby team is out to prove all odds wrong when they take on Nandi in the Skipper Cup on Saturday. The Highlanders hope to come away with a win and set the platform for a successful provincial tournament campaign. Vasnil Prasad reports.
The struggle is real for the Naita Siri rugby team as they continue to hunt for more wins in the Skipper Cup.
In our scrummaging last against Nandronga, we create a lot of penalties because our scrummaging machine is not good. So we've been looking for our scrummaging machine.
Keeping a close watch on the set pieces, Naitasiri coach Chochi Rinakama laying down the instructions during the training session. Rinakama knows too well his side was exposed by Nandronga 2 weeks ago despite winning the match.
Especially our entrance from our defending area, and we gave a lot of mistakes. We gave a lot of penalties.
The bond in the team is strong, and Naitasiri will throw all to beat Nandi and set the platform in winning the Skipper Cup this year.
They got a very good players, and a bunch of young players, and got speed, and they got they got some talent players there.
It's been a long 18 years. Naitasiri has been part of the provincial rugby, and the players know how much work is needed if they want to taste a victory this year. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Mbati is ready to take on the Papua New Guinea Kumuls in the Pacific Test Open on Saturday. The side is in Australia and has had a couple of training runs and team bonding exercises. Coach Mick Potter says the atmosphere in camp has been great and his team is looking forward to playing the Kumuls.
We've had 2 solid sessions, and we've had a little bit of conditioning. They've done some weights. They're culturally they've been singing a lot of songs and doing some praying and doing that devotion time, which has been very good for their bonding.
Meanwhile, Canterbury Bulldog rep Tyrone Phillips is enjoying his time with the Fiji Mbati and says he looks forward to the match against PNG.
Means the world just to put on the Bati jersey and represent my family back home and my culture. It's a great experience and a great camp, and I'm looking forward to it this weekend.
The match will be held in Sydney at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. There will be 9 places to the Olympic Games on offer at this year's Oceania Weightlifting Championships. 150 lifters will take part in the 4-day competition that starts on the 24th of May. And for the first time, Fiji will have lifters in all the weight divisions, with favourites Manueli Tulo and Apollinia Vaivai tipped to qualify for the Rio Games.
For Fiji, our biggest events, and the events that I think people should not miss, is one where Manueli Tulo is lifting in the 56 kg. That's on the Tuesday night, and also in the 69 kg women's, where we've got 2 champion lifters there. Apollonia Vaivai is a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist and a gold medalist at the Commonwealth Championships in India last year. And we've also got the up-and-coming Eileen Legamatana.
The competition will be held from the 24th to the 28th of this month at Vodafone Arena. All 4 Fiji teams in the men's and women's division have qualified for the quarterfinals of the Oceania Volleyball Championships. In the last pool match today, Fiji Blue went down to Samoa 3-1 in the men's category. In the women's division, Fiji Blue avenged their male counterparts' earlier loss by beating the Samoan women also by 3-1. In the men's quarterfinals currently underway, defending champions New Caledonia is playing Solomon A. Fiji Blue will face Tonga later tonight. And that was your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fiji's fledgling tourism industry has constantly been on the radar for most of our competitors. This is the reality of how vigorous the competition has been in selling Fiji as a prime destination to the short, emerging and long-haul markets. Madhyam Bolaitamana has been at the Fiji Tourism Expo on Denarau Island this week and files this report.
If there is one thing that has been the talk of this week's Fiji Tourism Expo, it is this.
Fiji's got immense competition, so we're not the only destination in the portfolio of services that the travel agents offer. There is strong competition out of our Asian competitors, and we've been getting feedback, particularly out of Australia and New Zealand, about just the importance to make sure that Fiji stays competitive.
For one of the oldest and premier properties in the country, the need to relook at prices has been the talking point amongst buyers and sellers.
We would do well to make our destination more affordable and attractive, so that it appeals to a market that is now looking for value particularly at a time, when the health of the global economy is not great. So.
And perhaps an area that can be revisited is taxes levied on our visitors.
Now that they've made significant improvements to the airport, which is fantastic, I think we have an opportunity there to reduce that tax and pass that on to our visitors, and that would bring more people into the country, make us more attractive as a destination in terms of price point.
The lessons for the 3-day event is something organizers are also looking at to host the bigger, better 2017 Fiji Tourism Expo.
FTE is the premier event for Fiji. That event has to be a showcase of us as Team Fiji, as we did this year. All of industry, suppliers, hotels, everyone coming together so that we put our best foot forward and show what we are.
The hopes and aspirations of the industry now hangs on how government will respond in harnessing tourism as a potential $2 billion sector as early as the next 2 seasons. Matthew Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Fine weather prevailed over the country today. Bar and Lambasa were the hottest today on 32 degrees, while Lautoka, Nandi and Suva followed. Savasava was the coolest on 28 degrees. Cloudy periods with brief showers about the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. And the further outlook is for Saturday, chances of brief showers over eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, elsewhere mainly fine. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Prime Minister has warned no corrupt practice will be tolerated in the Help for Homes Initiative program. FMPF terminates employee over Cyclone assistance fraud, and Suva murder accused who stabbed a woman 8 times has appeared in court today. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to this week's poll question, we are asking, is it right for SEDELPA to try and bring back the GCC? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Good night.
आपको खरगंगा की रंजुला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाटोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब बताऊँ मैं कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।